Welcome to the Brent Gove podcast with co-host Eric Lofholm. We are building 1 million agents in 100 countries in 10 years. Now, here's your host, Brent Gove.
And welcome back to the big show. I'm Brent Gove with my co-host Eric Lofholm, my good buddy. Eric, how you doing today?
Hey, Brent, I am doing great, and I'm excited about today's podcast because I'm the first one to hear it because I'm doing it with you right now. And you had some time recently with Tony Robbins, and you want to share some of those insights. And I'm super excited to learn and hear because I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Come on, baby. We're in Scottsdale for 3 days with Dean Graziosi, Andy Elliott, a guy named Jordan Peterson. You all know Jordan Peterson. He's famous. Jim Quick, who wrote the book Limitless. If you haven't read Limitless, get it on Amazon. He's considered the foremost brain expert in the world, and he was powerful. But I'm going to share some highlights. I went over my notes. I circled things. I asterisked things. And just some powerful comments that Tony made. There were only 25 of us hanging out for 3 days. A really rare chance to get to be with Tony. So it was very special. AJ Gupta was there. He ran a $300 billion fund. I mean, there's a bunch of people there that run hedge private money equity funds, $250,000, $250 million, $500 million. There's some pretty movers and shakers. But here's what Tony said. He started off with, he spent the last 40, 50 years looking at, high performance, what makes people tick? What makes the difference? And he said, is it intelligence? I mean, you go to Cambridge and Oxford and Harvard and Yale and some of these universities, right? And he said, nope, it's not intelligence. We've seen educated derelicts, He says, so what is it? And he said this, the differentiator is hunger. In his opinion, after all these years, what makes somebody make it is not even whether they're college educated. It's when they got the hunger, the drive. People call it drive. He calls it hunger. Because if you're hungry, you want more, you want to grow, you want to change, you want to do more, be more, give more, love more. It's the hunger, that internal fire, that insatiable hunger that drives you forward. And I'm scribbling down. I'm like, yeah, I got that. I mean, I didn't graduate from college, but I got hunger, baby. So I was already loving this talk. And then he said, it says, how do you succeed in any industry? How do you dominate an industry? Is you simply do more than anyone else is doing in that. So maybe you sell mobile homes. How can you deliver at a higher level? What could you do that's above and beyond? A friend of mine started a real estate brokerage. He named it Above and Beyond. I love that name. What can you do to go above and beyond in your landscape design company, above and beyond in your software company? What can you do to go above and beyond your hedge fund? The hedge fund people, they act and behave a certain way. What could you do different to go above and beyond, to do more than anybody else is doing as a real estate broker, a stockbroker, a CPA? Everyone gets their taxes done. We kind of expect a certain thing from our CPA. What can you do as a CPA that's above and beyond that we're like, wow, that was shocking. I did not see that coming. That's how you dominate a market. That was money. I wrote that down. And then the next part, I put 9 asterisks. I circled. It was the number one thing I got out of spending 3 days with Tony Robbins. By the way, it was not free to be in that room. I paid $250,000 cash to be in that room. 25. That's why the room was so small, only 25 people. But the people are interesting. When they put up a quarter, it's like put up or shut up. Yes, I'm hungry. Yes, I want to grow. Okay, here. $250,000. Let's go hang out for 3 days. Boom, 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 boom. I personally invited 15 people to be in that room. Not one of them did it. It's some people, not everyone has $250,000 extra. It's not like I got money falling out of my pockets, but I made the investment. It's life-changing. I've always done this, and it helps. But this one thing, I will hold on to this the rest of my life. And here it is. You ready? I paid a lot of money for it. I give it to you. I give it to you. So he says, one conversation makes every trip priceless. That's it. That's a simple thing he said. And he's right. I think about the times I went to Craig Proctor events and talked to a guy named Brian Moses, and then went again and talked to a guy named Jay Kinder, then went again and talked to a guy named Leonard Fazio from Iowa. I had lunch with them. And it was the one conversation. Then I went to Howard Brinton's Star Power. Then I went to Keller Williams' annual convention, and I got to spend time with Gary Keller. We were grabbing a cup of coffee. It's that one thing he said to me. And then I went to EXP, and I've been to Brian Buffini, and I've been to Joe Stump, and I just, all these different things I've done, NAREP, ARIA, WCR. I've been to WCR events. And when you go, you're looking for that one thing. If you will just get that, and you will if you look at it, if you go and you cross your arms, cross your eyes, cross your legs, and say, motivate me, good luck. You go there with the been there, done that attitude, good luck. I invite people to Tony. I've been there. I've been in Tony Robbins before. 10X. I've been to 10X before. Been there, done that. I go to Mega Camp family. I've done it. I don't need it anymore. Really? So you're completely perfect. You're God's gift to humanity. Well, no. Like the moment you stop growing, you are dying. There's either growth or regression. There is no neutral. You don't hold your own. You're either moving forward or falling back. It's a law of physics. You don't just like hover like a drone. And so at 1,500 feet elevation, even then, it eventually is going to come down. And so I love that. So like I'm doing an event next week in Cabo, and I know that people can go if they're looking for it. They're going to find the diamond. They're going to find that nugget of gold, that one thing they could go back and apply that helps them get to the next peak. And then they go to an event, then they go to they see the next peak, and it's the peak to peak to peak principle. And I remember one time I heard a speaker said, and he convinced me that success was not a destination. It's the journey. It's today. You're never going to be happy unless you are happy. You got to learn to be happy today, like the breath in your lungs. Because there's people on ventilators right now. I've been super sick where I had needed things to help me breathe. And it's hard to breathe, it's scary. Right now, I can take a deep breath. No, I didn't cough, did I? Some of you take a big breath. If you've been sick, you're like, you have to like cough, right? It's wonderful. Take a big breath of fresh air, and take a big glass of clean water. And we just having gratitude. That's what Tony Robbins says, have gratitude, be grateful. It's such a better way to go through life. And like, well, when I become rich, I'll give to the poor. Look, if you don't give now, but no, I'm struggling now. Trust me, there's the widow with the two mites is the one who made it into the Bible. And she gave what little she had. If you don't give now, you'll never give when you're rich. They're principles. It's character. It's who you are. So, but I only have $100. Good. Give 10. Live on the 90. But I'm broke. Be broke on $90. There's somebody who needs your $10. When you get that tug on your heart, some people call it, intuition. I had a tug. I had an intuition. I call it, as a Christian, I call it the Holy Spirit. I mean, the Spirit's saying, go and give your coat. Go and buy a meal. Go pay for that person to stay in a hotel. Go bring that family into your home. Go and pay for someone to go to college. Go and help farmers in Nicaragua and Honduras. We do. We help like 30 farmers, put them all into business. And I've never even talked about that. There's so many things we get to do because I was obedient to a worthy upward struggle. How do you feel like your life means something? You dedicate your life to a worthy uphill struggle, an upward struggle, something that's worthy of your struggle, something bigger than you, bigger than money, a nice home, nice cars. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he owns multiple jets, thousands of apartments, mansion after mansion after mansion. He's a Polish guy. And he said 5 years ago, he tried to kill himself.
Wow.
Like multi-millions of dollars. He couldn't get out of bed for 2 months. He was so depressed. He's like, what is wrong with me? I have a family. I'm super rich. I have all the money, fortune, and fame. And he was empty. Because he always thought, well, when I get the yacht, no, that didn't do it. I need the jet. No, I need a different jet. No, I need a home in Poland. No, I need one in Switzerland. I need a vineyard in France. He owns 6 mansions in Fort Lauderdale. He sold one of them to Messi, like a Messi, the soccer player.
Yeah.
Like Messi bought one. It's nice. His neighbors PBD, Patrick Bet David. It's his neighbor. Hangs out at PBD's house all the time. Have you ever seen him on YouTube? He's got that corner house in Fort Lauderdale on the ocean. He's in his backyard smoking a cigar, talking. That's his neighbor. And Messi lives right down the street. He owns 6 mansions in there. He sold 1 to Messi. This guy's got everything, but he had nothing. He had everything, but he had nothing because he didn't realize. And you guys too. I don't care if you're broke right now. Everything you ever dreamed of is right in front of you. And it's like, man, if you're blessed to have a wife or a husband, if you're blessed to have kids, you got it. But I'm struggling. That'll pass. It says in the Bible, if you're a Bible person, and I am, and it came to pass. So it always says that. There's not one time ever in the Bible, and all thousands of years, and it came to stay. And it was miserable forever after. And everybody hated their life, and then they died. It doesn't say that, and it came to pass. Think back in your own life, the struggles you've had, man, whether they were financial, whether somebody broke up with you or you broke up with somebody, or the death of a brother, a sister, a child, a mom or a dad or a close friend. I've had close friends die. I know what it's like to bawl uncontrollably, and you go through that, but eventually you have this memory. Rick Cheehaw, my dear friend, passed away. Now we have the Rick Cheehaw Award in his honor. He was an incredible, loving man. And there were tears, and now there's appreciation. And there was always appreciation. But it's normal to grieve, to go through that. But you honor your friends by becoming a better version of what their gift was. You see it, and you go, I want that. Rick was present and he was loving. And I want to be more present, more loving. And I honor Rick Cheehaw in my life because that's what he taught me. And I will always be thankful to Rick. And I would love to give him a big hug right now. I can't. And that's why you want to, success is not a destination. It's right now. So he also said success has patterns. He said high energy, high performance, low energy, low performance. High energy, live the high life. Low energy, be a low life. He didn't say that, but I just thought of that as I was saying it. Don't be a low life. You want to be a high life, baby. High energy, high performance, high production. And listen to me. I'm not that way. No, it is manufactured. It is a decision. You literally decide to put out energy out into the world. I won't use the word universe. That sounds so weird. Into the universe, there's a world, and you put energy out. You decide to put love. You put a smile on your, hey, how are you? That is a decision. I don't feel that way. Immature people work. I don't feel good. I'm really ticked off. So you're going to be mad at everybody. That's the height of immaturity. You're a thermostat, a thermometer. You go up and down there. Having a good day. Oh, dad's having a bad day. Oh, mom's having a good day. Mom's having a bad day. Uncle Bob's having a great day. I'm like up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm excited. I'm depressed. I'm excited. I'm depressed. I'm excited. That is the height of immaturity. You want to be a thermostat, baby. You set that thing at 70 degrees, 72 degrees, 68, whatever it is. Set that thing, and you're either up or you're there. Up or there. You don't drop down and kick the cat, kick the dog, yell at the kids, yell at your husband, yell at your wife. That is the height of immaturity. So success has patterns: high energy, high performance, high love, high rewards. High gratitude, high meaning. What is a silver lining? What can I learn? Yes, bad things are going to happen. I know some of you are going through hell right now. I love those country websites. If you're going through hell, just don't stay there. Even the Bible says it. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me and you comfort me. So let me ask you a question. Who's there with you? Do you have that part of your life together, that spiritual part, for those dark nights when you're not feeling it and it's darkest before the dawn? So talk to somebody who gets that and that you respect. Tony also said, your learning must lead to action. People who learn and don't apply, it's no bueno. It's not good. And then the final thing he said, I have it over here. Let me flip through here. Was the purpose of a goal is what it makes of you. The purpose of a goal is what it makes of you. Everyone needs a compelling future. Never stop growing. Have the hunger. Don't settle. People settle all the time. Set higher standards. Step up, step up, step up. So, and I'll end with this. there's a guy there, kind of a little bonus part here. His name's Jim Quick. He wrote the book Limitless. Get that book, read it. He said he had a traumatic brain injury at 5. It was really hard for him to learn. He was in all the learning classes, tutors. They called him stupid, dumb, this, that. He hit his head really hard. He was really, and he dedicated himself to healing his mind. Now he's considered one of the brightest people in the world. But he said learning the alphabet was key to being educated. And you learn A, B, C, D. You learn the alphabet, then you learn how to pronounce and spell small words and spell. You learn how to read and writing. But that was key. He said specifically the letters B and D. What's between the letters B and D? The letter C. But B is the day you were born. D is the day you die. And the letter C are for the choices you make between the B and the D. So the day you were born, then you make choices your whole life, and then you die. And the key to success is the letter C, the choices you make. Who you going to marry? What are you going to do? What cause are you going to dedicate yourself? Amassing money? People dedicate themselves to that. Fitness, just pure fitness, but their marriage is a mess. You got to make choices to have a healthy marriage, a healthy family, a healthy body, a healthy mind, healthy finances. What choices? Well, I'm not good at that. We'll get good at that. That's not an excuse. That is passing the buck. I'm not good at finances. Well, then you need to study and learn. Ignorance is bliss. Listen to me. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance will kill you. Don't pay the dumb tax with your health. Don't pay the dumb tax with your wealth. Don't pay it with your family. By the way, my Polish friend, he shares this publicly. His wife is like, you work too much. I'm miserable. He's like, yeah. Because he grew up in Poland. He says they worked nonstop and they drank nonstop. And they worked nonstop and they drank nonstop. And they didn't hug and they didn't encourage you. And it's kind of that communist bloc. He grew up after World War II. It was a very harsh. And he goes, that's just what he thought was normal. So when his own life was like, you work too much, I don't know you anymore, I'm miserable. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he just thought I thought that was normal. I thought that was what a marriage was supposed to be. The wife moans and complains and is miserable because that's how my mom was. And my dad completely ignored her and drank vodka and worked and drank. So that's what I did. I ignored my wife. I worked, and on the shoulders of my father, he had such a work ethic. He became mega rich, and then he realized, oh, I'm actually supposed to pay attention to my wife. I should listen to her. And they ended up getting divorced. They did. He got remarried, but guess what he does now? Totally focused on his wife, loving her, adoring her, and he's getting more balance in his life. He's shared his struggles very openly, shared it publicly. So I'm not revealing anything he hasn't said to the world. He wrote a book, not on how to become wealthy, but on how to be emotionally and mentally healthy. And his whole mission in life now is on suicide prevention because he almost took his life. Wow. And he was so scared. And his wife was the one who pulled him out of it and said, that's it. You're getting up. You're getting out of this bed. You're getting open the blinds and just drug him out. And so he figured things out. Anyways, that was my time with Tony Robbins. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, remember, you are one conversation away when you go to an event from just having a priceless time there. Doesn't have to be the thing, it's that, but you got to look for it. You got to be hungry for it. You got to want it. So the next event you go, sit on the edge of your seat, take notes, and look for it. And it's going to come. It may come at breakfast. It may come at lunch. It may come from the speaker on the stage. It may come in the gym at 6 a.m. when you're working out. It may come over by the pool and you're just having some seemingly innocuous conversation. But the collaboration, all of a sudden, light bulb comes on. And if you just do that every time you go to church on a Sunday, every event you go to, all of a sudden the little bits and pieces make up the fabric of your life. And you're going to be loving it. You're going to be pouring into others, giving, and you're going to feel so fulfilled and so alive as you love and give and serve. So that's it for today, Eric. Thanks for helping me do this.
Brent, great to be with you. Thank you for inviting us into that room that you were in with all these amazing people and the great Tony Robbins, hearing his best insights so we can benefit from that incredibly significant financial investment that you made in yourself that we all got to participate in at no cost. So thank you for that. And for all of you listening, I want to encourage you, as I always do, listen to the podcast multiple times to put the best ideas into your subconscious and share the podcast with your team and your organization so they can benefit as well. That's going to wrap it up. We'll look forward to connecting with you on our next podcast. Bye for now.
Okay, so here's the deal. We have incredible information, video content on my YouTube channel. Go over there and make sure you subscribe. And it's vital that you ring the bell. If you ring that bell every time I put out new content, it's actually going to notify you and you can get the latest and greatest of what's happening at EXP. Now, don't forget to like me on Facebook so you can also get that content, and then follow me on Instagram. We're hitting everybody high, low, and in between. We're trying to get the information out there so you can build big businesses, revenue share organizations. So go to YouTube right now. Please subscribe and ring that bell. Like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. We'll see you out there.